Volvo has revamped the third generation of its cross-country wagon, the XC70. It comes with modifications to the interior as well as two new 2.4-liter turbo diesel engines. The more powerful of the two delivers 205 horsepower and is fitted with a twin turbocharger. The XC70 is now also available as an environmentally friendly Drive E model, boasting a 6-speed manual transmission and a fuel economy of just 6 liters over 100 kilometers. Of course, the exterior immediately betrays its roots, but there are certain aspects that make it stand out from the crowd. The fog lamps are mounted in sturdy-looking frames, for example. The front, in general, exudes power and adventure. Boldly designed wheel arches, long spring travel, and a ride height of 210 millimeters make the XC70 a more than able-bodied customer both on and off the road. The side mirrors have built-in turn indicators, but for an additional €1,500, they come with cameras that relay blind spot information to the driver. The XC70 is also unmistakable from the rear, thanks to the robust selection of materials involved. And impact-resistant plastic as well as scratch-proof floor pan ensure that its sturdiness is more than just skin deep. The car we tested was powered by a 205 horsepower engine, the most powerful of the three available. The all-wheel drive XC70 D5 makes the dash to 100 kilometers an hour in 8.9 seconds. That acceleration is matched by a top speed of 205 kilometers an hour. The upgrading of the XC70 continues on the inside. The top equipment line, the Summum, includes stylish wood trim that adds a dynamic but elegant touch. And the XC70 wouldn't be complete without Volvo's trademark floating center console. The optional sat-nav system is tucked away in the top section of the dashboard. The headrests have built-in monitors providing in-car entertainment options for rear-seat passengers. The top equipment line features power-adjustable front seats. The driver's seat can memorize 3 different configurations. The electronically controlled all-wheel drive system distributes the engine output between the 2 axles as required. When driving on dry roads under normal traffic conditions, 95% of the power is transferred to the front wheels. This figure falls progressively to 35% when traction begins to slacken. In slippery conditions involving snow or slush, the power goes to the wheels with the best traction. The back leaves room for countless options. The cargo cover is easy enough to remove. And not just animal lovers will be impressed by the robust barrier that can be swung down to separate passengers from the cargo area. Drive It test dog Taiba seemed to feel right at home here, but the XC70 can transport far larger loads with ease. Volvo always spells security big. Side airbags and a side impact protection system are fitted as standard. An extra €2,000 will buy you a package of driver assist features. Among these are camera and radar-controlled speed and distance monitoring, complete with a brake assist and a fatigue detection function. The hill descent assist is standard in the all-wheel drive models. The basic version of the Swedish all-rounder goes on sale in Germany for just under €40,000. Peugeot's 240 horsepower 407 Coupe is the most powerful production car in the carmaker's history. The 4-seater has a 3-liter V6 bi-turbo engine and is also the first Peugeot to feature brake energy regeneration. Fuel consumption for the top-of-the-range model is listed as just 7.2 liters. It goes on sale in Germany for just over €43,000. BMW will be unveiling its vision-efficient dynamics concept at the International Motor Show in Frankfurt. The all-wheel drive full hybrid is powered by a 3-liter turbo diesel unit with electric motors driving the front and rear axles. Despite its 356 horsepower output, this latest embodiment of BMW's sustainable mobility strategy consumes diesel at a rate of just 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers. Two wheels, an axle, and handlebars. The Segway Personal Transporter, best known as just the Segway or PT. In 1999, D. Kamen had a vision of a zero-emissions human transporter. 2 years later, the first Segway PT came off the production line. It has to date sold some 70,000 units. They're now catching on in Germany as well. A major factor in their success is their low maintenance cost. It takes just a few cents to recharge the battery, which will give you a range of 38 kilometers. This unconventional mode of transportation never fails to grab people's attention. It's an extraordinary way of getting about, says German Segway agent Andreas Schmidt. The Segway is unique. It is self-balancing, and, he adds, it's the ultimate fun vehicle. But it's not quite as easy to maneuver as it looks, and a brief introduction is required for first-timers. The info key determines the speed, which peaks at 20 kilometers an hour. The vehicle is activated by treading on the platform. Once both feet are on the Segway, you're ready to go. The onboard computer takes care of the balance. It takes some getting used to. The Segway moves and feels a bit like a scooter from the future, but after a few minutes, you get the hang of it. It's a great feeling from the outset. Nothing compares to it. It takes 2 minutes to learn the ropes, and then you never want to get off. It's a bit like being on the playground. The Segway has a wide range of applications. Andreas Schmidt organizes special Segway tours of Cologne. This summer, the PT was finally deemed road legal by the German authorities, so now the world is your oyster. There's no helmet requirement, but you do have to have lights, a bell, and insurance. The Segway's maneuverability makes it ideal for narrow streets and alleys. Plus, it boasts absolute zero emissions. It's a fun, lifestyle-oriented machine. It represents progressiveness. Forget bikes, the Segway is in. Segways are used in the U.S. for patrolling airports and train stations. Office workers likewise find them a handy way of getting to work cheaply and quickly. But most Segways are used for leisure purposes. Special city tours are proving popular because they can go places inaccessible to buses or cars. The Segway is wicked. It's an alternative way of discovering a city. You can get off the beaten track and away from the usual tourist routes. The Segway has a big fun factor, and it makes touring a city a very special experience.
Großen Fun-Faktor, der so eine Städtetour dann einfach nochmal zu etwas Besonderem macht.
It's a lot of fun, but don't often get the chance to ride a Segway, so it's something special.
Deswegen ist es einfach was Besonderes. Es macht einfach Spaß.
It's interesting when people look at you as if you're some kind of alien, says this tester. If there is a catch, it's the tidy asking price of €5,500. But this nifty little two-wheeler is far more than just a gimmick. The new Mazda CX-7 is due to hit the road soon. The sizable trademark 5-point grille, integrated front headlights, and new 18 and 19-inch alloy wheels make this version a particularly sporty-looking crossover SUV. Exactly when the new Mazda goes on sale and at what price has not yet been announced. Kia's upgraded Sorento is also due out soon and is already causing a commotion ahead of its release. The completely revamped, redesigned compact SUV got top marks from the European Crash Testing Authority and is thus deemed one of the safest models in its class. It hits the showrooms in November, with prices in Germany starting at €28,500. There's a certain romanticism that links VW vans with nature and the environment. Of course, driving a VW van is not the greenest means of transportation. But times have changed, and now the Transporter boasts better environmental credentials than some cars. It has also evolved on the performance front. The days when you hold up traffic with a VW van are numbered, says our car tester Matis Kurat. Today, a 2.5-liter TDI engine delivers 130 horsepower, and that's more than enough to go with the flow of traffic. 2 gasoline-driven and 4 diesel engines are available, with outputs ranging from 85 to 235 horsepower. The turbo diesel unit we tested propelled the van to 100 kilometers an hour in 15.3 seconds. A diesel particulate filter is fitted as standard. The VW van has benefits and drawbacks in the city. One disadvantage is its size and the subsequent difficulty finding a parking space. But on the plus side, there's the high vantage point that gives you a better view of the traffic and allows you to respond sooner to potential dangers. In addition, the perpendicular position to the steering wheel is good for your back. The van's handling is better than its dimensions might suggest, also thanks to its flat sides and straight shoulder line. The park assist is nonetheless useful, especially as small cars are often invisible through the rear window. All in all, the T5 makes a very dashing impression ahead of its facelift, which will be unveiled at the Frankfurt Motor Show. Our tester says the materials used for the interior could be a bit slicker. The new Golf illustrates what's possible in that regard, but our tester has no complaints about the quality workmanship. One very impressive aspect of the Transporter, now in its 5th generation, a plethora of stowing options. Many of them are within easy reach for the driver. We happened to bump into a forebearer of the latest VW Transporter, a T2. The encounter shows just how much has changed in the world over the last 4 decades, but also how little some things have changed. Sliding doors are hardly a new feature. Here at the back you see why the multivan is called exactly that. Of course, the front seats can be shifted forward and backward, but you can also turn them around to face the rear passengers. And as if that weren't enough, we can fold down a table and play a game of cards.
Als ob das nicht genug wäre, kann ich hier auch noch einen Tisch ausklappen und mit den Leuten Karten spielen.
Best of all, if you want to really relax from all that exertion, you can pull this lever here and fold down the seats to create a bed.
Und dann hat man auch noch ein kleines Bett.